Hey travelers, Chris here with another review. Today we're in Hiroshima, in roughly the south of the Japanese main island. And today we're gonna check out the Hilton Hiroshima. I'm super stoked to try out this hotel. At least on the pictures it looks very fantastic and it's a very modern hotel, so I can't wait to see if it holds up. So let's go. Now, when you first see the Hilton building, even though it is a modern building, you will immediately see that it looks like every other block building that you can find in Japanese cities, but fret not, of course, the outside does not tell a lot about the inside. In fact, when you first enter the lobby, you will be really impressed, and I mean, just look at it, the warm light, the modern and bright interior. It is truly beautiful. I love the bonsai tree that they have also right in front of the reception area. Besides that, you can find a little cafe here on the right side that during our stay on the weekend at least was frequented quite a bit by the locals, and you get all kinds of pastries, cakes and drinks there. After getting the elevator then to the 21st floor, the second highest floor, we made our way to our room 2116. Alright, so let's check out the room. We got an executive standard room, which is about 35 square meters, and you can see it here already, nothing too big, but you can see that the design that we already saw in the lobby and across the hotel is also in these rooms like beautifully reflected, kind of these really Japanese touches, and at the same time still feels very modern. I especially like the lighting, it feels very cozy in here, and also this massive window where you can easily see across all over Hiroshima. Now we're on the 21st of the 22nd floor, so the view is quite good. I can see some buildings down there, so actually I think if you're on a lower floor, maybe your view might not be quite as nice, but still, really good. Besides that, of course, you have a massive bed. You also have, which I always like, with newer hotels, you get USB plugs and very easy to use controls for the lighting and AC and all of this. Besides that, naturally, a massive TV. It's really nice looking, Japanese brand of course, small table. Looks like you could do some work here actually, which is also good. And then coming over here, you get some complimentary water, which I believe it looks very local, natural water. I am not the biggest fan of having these kind of caps here because you cannot use it to bring when you go on a day trip venturing around town, but still quite nice. You get E2 tea and of course also an espresso capsule. Okay, besides that, you have a little bit of space here to really get comfortable, decently big cupboard or wardrobe, I guess. So overall quite nice. And then let's go to the bathroom. And this one is quite standard. It's not the biggest, and also the colors are a bit more basic. It feels not quite as modern with the brown tones, but still you have all these Crabtree and Evelyn branded items that Hilton uses, I believe, across the world, at least across Japan. And then what I really like is, besides of course, you've heard me say it 100 million times, but I like the refillable bottles. And there's also a L'Occitane little kind of necessaire here. Let's see what's inside. The reason why this is in here is that the hotel has a L'Occitane branded spa, which you can go to, and I guess that's the reason why this is in here. This is really cute, even with a little wooden zipper. And let's see what's inside. It looks a bit like an airport amenities kit. So you can see you get a soap here, you get a really cute, like a little hand cream, little night serum, and all kinds of small things. So that's really awesome that they put this. And then besides that, of course, you get a shower and a bathtub combination. Unfortunately, you don't really have a view here, so that's not ideal, but either way it's nice to have, and it actually looks quite big, so even taller guys like me might actually fit in here well. which is not necessarily a thing for me in Japan at least. And then lastly, just to check everything, let's look at the restroom. I really like this function. They have this toilet that opens up when you get close to it automatically. You get greeted by the toilet, beautiful. And of course, since we're in Japan, you have all the many functions that you usually get. So yeah, overall, really nice room. I like it, I like the view, I like that it's modern. That's to me always the most important part. And it's pretty bright. One more thing is that they actually added these little complimentary snacks, and this is a very local delicacy. This is I'm actually not sure how to pronounce it, but Womichi apparently. Momichi sounds better. This is like a little cake or biscuit style, I think usually filled with a kind of walnut red bean paste. We had some earlier and those are really delicious. So nice touch to have local produce and local items around in the room. One thing that I would also like to highlight is that we mentioned to the hotel at the reception that we were celebrating a special event between my fiance and I, and they actually put a little bottle of champagne as well as some fruits here and nuts into the room the next day. That was a really nice little detail, and you can also see that they actually placed the towels in a nice way. So those are small details, but I really love that they came through and did something, even though we just mentioned it once. With breakfast then being the most important meal of the day, let's look at the breakfast here in the Mosaic restaurant on the 6th floor. And again, you can see that they are really well prepared for a lot of visitors. It's again bright, the decorations are beautiful. You also have these big windows, even though the view is not so nice on the 6th floor. There's some other buildings next to there. But still, I really love the warm lighting and the design in general. In regards to the food selection, there's really not much to complain about, especially on the savory side. You have a ton of different dishes. There's a strong local focus on local ingredients and Japanese ingredients in general, as you can see here. You can also get some hot soups in the morning, which I really like. And besides that, of course, they had the chocolate fountain that I really liked as a nice detail. Besides the fantastic local food options, one thing that I have a bit of a complaint about is the fruit selection. You can see it here, it's quite limited and was also oftentimes empty because it was quite in demand. Other than that, you can see here a couple of dishes, selections of what we had for breakfast, and it really looks nice, I have to say. In regards to the quality, I have to say that the pastries were really good, not too dry, and also the fruit was not too mushy. Nothing completely excellent, but very decent, especially for the price. I also liked how there was a secret of some sorts, a diamond menu where you could order special juices, smoothies, as well as, for example, this egg benedict, which was excellent. When the breakfast is exceptionally full, also there's a bit of a spillover area into the other restaurant, and unfortunately also on Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, as you can see, it gets quite crowded. Alright, one other cool thing about the hotel, besides these absolutely stylish robes, is the pool that we're gonna check out now. They have an indoor pool, which is amazing. It's a rainy day, so perfect for today, so let's check it out. For this we go on to the 5th floor where the spa, the fitness room and the pool are. And after going through this nice looking hallway, you come into the pool area. And as you can see, it's actually quite spacious. We're looking at a around 20 meters long pool, and there's also a jacuzzi as well. I especially like this red painted wall that you can see here in more detail. It just gives everything a very warm and cozy vibe. Overall, of course, since it's an indoor pool, it gets a bit humid. You might not want to spend hours here, but I think it's fantastic that it is an option to have, especially during a rainy day, and we were quite happy. The large windows also made it less confined. Oftentimes, indoor pools are in the basement or on the 1st floor and it feels a bit restricted, but here it is really nice to get some daylight as well. Now after swimming, we decided it was time to have our lunch. And we actually saw that there's a Japanese Teppanyaki, so Japanese grill restaurant in this hotel as well. This is on the 6th floor, just next to our breakfast restaurant, and we were eager to try it out. They actually have some really nice lunch options that don't break the bank. In our case, it was around $30 per person for a teppanyaki meal. We were there on a Friday noontime, and surprisingly we were the only guests in the entire restaurant, which was quite odd, but nevertheless we had the full attention of our teppanyaki chef just for us. And it was really nice to actually see how the food got prepared right in front of you with a lot of expertise, and there's just something really satisfying about seeing this sizzling steak here. I especially like this moment where we got some flambe on our meat, and just look at this, it looks incredible. So this is half a lunch and half a performance in my opinion, and we were very happy with this, especially since the price was so reasonable. So we can absolutely recommend this for a lunch. After spending then most of the day outside, we were ready to actually try out the executive lounge, which is on the top floor on the 22nd. And I already saw some pictures and I had high expectations that were not disappointed. You can see it here, it is very nice, the view is incredible, the interior is modern, I love the color theme, this is very warm and modern, and it's also fairly spacious. For your coffee needs, there's an espresso machine with pads, as you can see here, and there's also some snacks throughout the entire day. Besides that, at 2:30 p.m. there's a tea time for an hour or so, where you have little sandwiches, as you can see here, bread, some rolls, and a little bit of sweets like cakes. I really like this. It's usually not the best time for us, at least, because we're not in the hotel during the early afternoon, but it's really a nice thing to have. Now, at 5 p.m. you actually have a 2-hour window of more savory dishes and of course alcohol as well. This one was quite tough to film because, as you will see, it was super crowded. Actually, for Saturday night we even had to choose a shift. There were 2 shifts of 1 hour each that we had to reserve because there were so many people who wanted to come to the lounge. That was a bit unfortunate. No matter though, the food was nice. I don't think it replaces a full meal. As you can see here, it was mostly cold snacks and 1 warm soup. But of course, again, it's just a very nice thing to have if it's included with your status, for example. In regards to the beverage selection, especially the alcoholic one, it seems fairly standard to me, as far as I can tell at least. The beers were also unfortunately not local, but they had this fun little tornado beer system, which you can see here fills the beer from the bottom, which was quite a hit, and they were eager to show it to every new guest who came to the lounge. But it might be a good choice to skip the Saturday evening service because you can just see how crowded it was. One other thing we wanted to check out, also on the 6th floor, is the bar and lounge Sada. You can see it here. We saw an advertisement here that promised live music, which we really liked, so we decided to go there on a Saturday evening, by the way, without a reservation, but fortunately there were still quite a few seats available for us. The selection of drinks is not very big, but I read that they have quite a good whiskey selection, so I had to try some of the local whiskeys, as well as there are some cocktails, mostly standard ones, but they looked quite nice and also tasted good. Besides that, the live music was a nice little change. They played for half an hour, then had a break for half an hour, so it was guaranteed that you will hear a little bit of that music. If you just want to talk to your friends, of course, then there's also a section that is a bit further away from the stage, so that also works. So that is the Hilton Hiroshima. I was really surprised and impressed. It's a brand new hotel, has a great breakfast, beautiful rooms, fantastic lounge and indoor pool. If you happen to be in Hiroshima, definitely make sure to check it out. That's it from my side, guys. See you in the next one. Cheers.